For a North-based scientist, she's sharing what it was like to fly right into the eye of Hurricane Dorian. She did it in the name of science. KPIX 5's John Ramos on what she learned from this close encounter.
In this unmarked building in downtown Santa Rosa, scientists are collecting wind data that is used around the world. And the other day, one of them got the ride of a lifetime. Dr. Lucrezia Ricciardulli works for a company called Remote Sensing Systems that tracks global wind speeds using data from satellites.
I particularly like to follow a storm and see if our data that is in indirect measurement is realistic.
But as Hurricane Dorian began building, Lucrezia got a call asking if she wanted to be on one of the planes that fly through storms to measure their intensity. It was something she'd been asking for 2 years.
I'm very surprised because it was very dangerous sounding to me, and she's the mother of 2 children.
So Lucrezia hopped the flight in Lakeland, Florida, and on the first flight flew through winds over 150 miles per hour.
You feel like the plane controlled by the hurricane, and the pilots have to compensate for this downward motion.
As the plane bucked up and down, flying at only 8,000 feet elevation, she monitored data coming in from transmitting sensors released into the sky. It was exciting, but on the second day's flight, things took a disturbing turn. Winds reached 185 miles per hour as it passed over the Bahama Islands.
It was very overwhelming because at that time on the plane, all the crew knew that this was a catastrophe.
The wind was howling and the P-3 Orion plane was being hammered by ice pellets.
And then suddenly, there it goes, we are in the eye, and then I look up and I see all blue. It's surreal. You feel part of nature, and the brain was like trying to make sense of the reality that I was living.
She says it was important to put her fear aside to be able to function and do her job. So she put her faith in the flight crew, some who have flown more than 300 such missions. Dr. Ricciardulli says there were times when she was afraid, but then again she says she would do it again in a heartbeat. In Santa Rosa, John Ramos, KPIX 5.
And when Dr. Ricciardulli was flying through the middle of Hurricane Dorian, it was the second strongest hurricane ever recorded.